Hello, everybody. Good morning. And right now it's 11 o'clock and it's time for us to begin our Facebook Live here today. And today's topic, we're going to talk about sales conversion strategies during crisis. And especially right here today, I'm very excited to just welcome and invite our host here today, our guest speaker here today. We have Ray Phoon. So Ray, say hi to our friends.
Hello, everyone.
All right. So just before we... so excited, right?
Yeah. Let's get going, right?
Let's get going. Okay, so for those of you here watching this right now, I would like to welcome all of you to join this and also to help you to like and share this post so we can benefit many, many more people out there. So once again, for those of you here join me right now, just say hi so I know that you're watching this right now. Drop us a hi, tell us you're here so that we know you're watching this right now. And so today's topic, we're going to talk about sales conversion strategies during crisis. And again, today's topic, we want to make it very relevant and we want to make it like straight to the point. So therefore, it's not just about motivation, no fluff, just go straight to the point and what we can learn. So in order for us to achieve a sales breakthrough. So thank you very much, Ray, for joining this show here today.
Oh, looking forward to getting this show going. Yes.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Very fast, we have Bhavani saying hello. Bhavani saying hello to you, Ray. Can you see that?
Hi, Bhavani. Good morning.
Bhavani has been talking so many good things about you.
Yes. She's a good friend.
All right. Okay, so perhaps before we start, Ray, would you just want to quickly introduce yourself? Like perhaps you can enlighten our audience, like what do you do and just a bit about yourself.
Okay, so I started my career out in technology and I spent a good amount of years as a sales leader, business leader with different technology giants. And I left that cushy corporate job and went into speaking and training and consulting. And I've now been doing that for about 15 years, going to our 16 years, helping to work with different organizations and professionals to help them strategize their business plans and also to help them focus on developing their business and salespeople so that they can go to market and be a market leader with differentiation in what they do.
Right. Okay, good. And so my curious question is, we had a quick chat before the Facebook Live began, and my curious question is, how did you started this? I mean, you mentioned in the sales career. So how was the journey like? Like, how did you start becoming who you are
today? Okay. So, being a sales leader, all of us have different philosophy on what's important to be a sales leader. And I'm sure you do as well, and lots of listeners do as well. And for me, my philosophy was all about without the right kind of tools, without the right kind of development to your people, with your people, it's very hard for them to be bringing the results you want them to bring. So I spent a lot of time coaching and training my salespeople all around the world. And I was actually in charge of Asia Pacific and China and Japan. So I was training a lot of my salespeople around the world. And as a result, I found my passion that I had a knack and a talent to help people. And just before I left, I decided to make sure that I stamp my authority in my skill set and what I was good at. And I wrote a couple of books and launched a book. And after I launched the book called The DNA of a Sales Superstar, everything was different. People started to knock on my door, started to want to find out more how they can actually get my services to actually develop and support and motivate others. And so I started my career very much from my first book, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So was it like you do the book first, then you train, or you train only you started the book?
Because I was actually training my salespeople even before I went to do this professionally, and so a lot of things that I believed in and a lot of things that worked for me and for our organization, I started to put them into some concepts, some ideas, and then I started to put them in a book. Of course, I started already engaging and coaching different teams and different organizations, but right after, several months after I started to work publicly and independently with so many people, I launched the book, and because of the book, it started to stamp the authority around the world. And our book also came with various tools to actually help organizations do the right hire, do the right kind of coaching for their salespeople as well. Yeah. So today, that tool and as a result of that book has now reached to many countries, and our tool is now used in 17 countries and over 7 languages. Yeah.
Wow. That's exciting, right? And the reason why I was okay. So for those of you watching this Facebook Live, and again, thank you so much for joining. Help us to like and share this video. And I approached Ray. So it was through a friend of mine called Bhavani, and say, "Hi, I want to talk to Ray." Right. So Ray is the guy to look for. And then I said, "Ray, let's go on Facebook Live." He said, "So fast go Facebook Live?" I said, "Yeah." I dragged him here, and I wanted him to share because I've heard a lot of some good things about you because it's not, you don't just do training, but you provide a complete solution for sales.
That's
And,
right.
so that's why I'm very excited to talk to you on this, right?
Okay.
Let's get into this right now. And my question to you is, so as a sales psychologist, being in the sales career for so long, so what are the differences in sales conversion strategies before and during crisis? How would the strategies be different?
Now, of course, some things are evergreen. And like you aptly said, some things need to change, need to be adapted. So to me, reaching out to your audience has changed. Getting them to make commitment has changed. Right? Getting them to get your products fulfilled to your customers have changed. We have to have a different strategy in not only reaching out to our clients, we have to have a different strategy in getting them committed, closing them. We have to have a different strategy to actually fulfill what you promised to deliver to them. I mean, there's a lot of traditional businesses today, they are overwhelmed because they are not ready to actually fulfill, the change with the situation today. Yeah. So a lot of things are going to change, and I will share more as we go along in our discussion here.
I'm excited to do more, right? Okay, so let's go to the floor, right? Okay, and I just want to communicate with some of you here. So, Ray, we got some friends saying hi. We have Stephen Lu saying hi to you, Stephen. We have Tan as well saying hi to you, Tan.
Hi, Stephen. Hi, Tan.
And we have Lim Di Yang who's also here, and
hi.
Ari Wally perhaps to say, hey, hi Ray, with exclamation mark.
Hi everyone.
All right, thank you very much for joining. And again, we appreciate you to just like and share so you can benefit more people.
Yep.
All right, so again, Ray, in this context, you show about a different strategy. So let's get into the strategy right now. So I know you have got prepared some tips.
Yeah.
What will be the tips? What are some practical, actionable items that all of us sales and business owners can do in order for us to adapt, adopt, and to remain relevant in this time of crisis? So what are
very
your
good?
Tips?
Very, very good. So let's put the context in place before we share three simple tips. Yeah, the first thing here is that about conversion and closing, right? Selling is a process. So which means, right, the idea here is to smoothen out the buying journey and the buying experience. The idea here is that we need to lessen the barrier to objections, lessen the barrier to resistance. Especially in times like this, right? We have to be really clear who are we trying to help and who are we trying to sell to. Don't cast just any net, right, and hope to catch something. I see a lot of people cast a huge net and they hope to catch something. And the key word here is hope, right? Because hope, right, is actually not a good strategy.
Correct.
While it's true, right, that every industry has its high and lows, especially during this time, high and low seasons, essential services today, for example, are overwhelmed with the opportunities, but it also come with their own set of fair challenges. Right? Essential services from telco to food services to F&B to medical to FMCG, right? Who are supporting the hypermarkets and supermarkets. They all have great opportunities. They seem to be growing a lot, but they're actually overwhelmed. They're growing so much that they have no time, right, to actually listen to any buying or sales pitch. They are only focused on delivery and fulfillment. You see what I'm saying? So the idea here is we have to be clear, who are we trying to cast the net to? So what we learn today, right, can actually be applied quite immediately. Yes, granted, some of us are going to have better results than others during this time with what we are about to share. But doing something productive, right, is better than doing nothing at all. So our idea here is we need to get ourselves in front of the pack, in the minds of our customers, so that even if they don't buy immediately, you will be the first one that they go to and commit when situation changes. Right? So the idea here is that we have to create this sense of awareness for your product and service that can adapt, right, and stand through the test of times. So converting and closing sales in any situation, whether crisis or no crisis. Okay. So first tip is the idea of understanding. So what do we want to understand? We need to first understand what the current situation is. Survey the challenges, surveys the need. Right? So obviously, in our minds, we hear a lot, we talk to a lot of people, and we tend to understand or think we understand what the real challenges are. But the challenges and needs, right, are different for every industry and different for every customer. So our focus has to be the ability to survey the right group, and then you must be able to describe it in one statement. The idea here is that if you cannot describe it in one statement, right, that means you actually don't understand what the real challenges are. Okay, so survey and then describe it in one statement. So for example, if we are looking at an SME market and a very popular challenge that people talk about, and there are thousands of different webinars that people talk about SMEs needing help, how would you put that in one statement, right? So first of all, you need your target market, right? SMEs, but what kind of SMEs, right? Is it SMEs in the medical field, SMEs in the food supplies industry, SMEs in rubber products or whatever, right? What are they facing? What challenges are they facing? Is it cash flow, right? Or is it raw materials? Or is it people motivation? So what are the challenges that they're actually facing? So we must be able to actually classify it in one statement, yeah? So the idea here is that after you have put it into one statement, you need to, that's number one, understand. So number two, taking stock. Very crucial to take stock. Take stock means taking stock of what you're good at, taking stock what your product or service stands for. And then more importantly, if you're clear about what your product and service is good and stands for, you must be able to ask yourself, which part of my product and service can I adapt or modify? The idea here is, why are you modifying and what are you modifying? You are modifying in order to meet the statement that you created in the idea of understanding the challenges of your market space.
Right.
Okay. So that's why you need to have the statement in the beginning. If you don't have a statement, it's very hard to understand what needs to be adapted and then what needs to be modified. Right. Yes. So today, a lot of things that people talk about is that people during this MCO, during lockdowns all around the world, people cannot go out safely, or they're not allowed to go out because of social distancing. And so everything is about going virtually and going online. So it's easy to say, I need to take my product online. It's easy to say, I need to take my fulfillment online. It's easy to say that, right?
Yes.
But it doesn't mean it solves problem.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you really solve the need of what the customer have, right? So you have to ask yourself, what is the real problem? The problem is not the delivery method.
Right.
The problem are the challenges that they face. So you can actually solve, if you can solve their problem, you can solve it virtually, you can solve it online, you can solve it offline, you can solve it in many, many ways, and it's not the delivery method. More importantly, what is the core of the challenge that they have? So second point is taking stock.
Right.
The third one is the idea of speeding up the buying decision. Here is where we talk about conversion, right? So you know what the challenges are, you know what you're going to adapt, and then you're going to ask yourself, how are you going to speed up the buying decision? Now, this is a bit tricky because everybody's buying decision is different for many reasons. They are different because of the different situation that they're going through. They're different because the company has now created a set of policies of to buy or not to buy. It's different for everybody because now maybe financially they're also affected. Okay, so they're all different. But more importantly, if all those three things I've mentioned stay the same, or to some extent under some sense of control, right? Finances, policies, situation, we have to ask ourselves, can I still convert them without knowing their actual buying persona? So the fourth thing is buying persona. It's not necessarily a budget issue. It's not necessarily just a company policy. It's not necessarily just the current COVID situation that we're in. It's about understanding the buyer's persona, their persona when it comes to buying and making commitment. Right. Okay. So I talk a lot about this in our Sales Star Inventory tool. And in our Sales Star Inventory tool, the only reason why I'm mentioning this is that if you want to understand your selling persona and also understand your customer's buying persona, you can understand that by actually taking a very simple assessment via Sales Star Inventory. And I mentioned that to you before, Wesley. So let's talk a little about that. Your customers' buying persona can be broken up into actually 4 kinds. Okay. Right. And the idea here is that if you understand these 4 kinds, then you can actually adapt your conversion strategies differently. So the first one is that the persona of the person is opportunity to be in the front. Their whole objective is they want to be in the front. They want to be the leader of the pack. And the way that you commit them to buy is to provide them a solution or provide them a source of support so that they can be in the front, so that they can actually leverage opportunities to be in the front in what they do. Yeah. Okay. So like, for example, in our business, let's talk about our business. Our business is in training and coaching, similar to yours, Wesley.
Yes.
And everybody wants to go online in training delivery. And everyone's talking about LMS, everyone's talking about webinars, everybody's talking about conference meeting tools and things like that, right? Yeah. So the thing here is that everyone wants to buy a piece of a tool, right, to help them leverage and be in the front of the business, right?
Yes.
But knowing the buying persona of the people who want to be in the front, right, and in what they do, not everyone in our industry is willing to invest. How many people are actually willing to invest in enterprise tools, right, to lead their business to the front, right?
Correct.
So the people who are willing to spend the money to get into the front, to get to the front, are the first group of people. The one that would invest to be at the front, the one that will invest to be the best. So the first customer persona is the one that seeks opportunity.
Right.
Okay. Everybody seeks opportunity, but this group of people seeks opportunity, but are willing to put their money in it, but are willing to commit, and willing to take risks with you.
Right.
Okay. So this is the first group of people, the visionaries. These are the people that are willing to. The buying persona is: I want to be in the front. I'm willing to take the risk. I'm willing to invest, and I seek growth opportunities. So this is the first buying persona type. The second buying persona type are people that would punch the numbers. Right? These are the people that will look at the cost-benefit analysis and figure out whether whatever you're trying to sell me is going to make ROI quick enough and make sense long enough. And even if you show them a rosy picture in the ROI, they will still think twice about whether they're going to invest or not. See, for them, their strategy is different from the opportunity seekers. Their strategies is a penny saved is a penny earned.
Okay.
Right? So you see the other one. The first one is a penny spent is a penny for growth.
Yep.
So you see the different buying persona there. Yep. Okay. So this is the second one. The third buying persona is a little bit of a herd mentality. I'm not saying that in a bad or good way. Yeah. I'm just saying that there are people that would buy depending on what everyone else is doing, depending on what the market trend is. So if you are a person that invests in stock, and if everybody is staying put, you stay put. And if everybody is selling, you'll sell, right? Because it's a herd mentality and goes with the trend. And just like Bitcoin, right? If you apply these four personas, right, buying personas to Bitcoin, you will notice that not everybody is successful. You have the frontliners, you have those that are super careful, right? You have those that are, people are buying now. It's the time to go in. Right? You see how that's affected by the herd mentality. Okay. The fourth one are folks that are very, they are the analytical. They are the ones that seek information. They are the ones that seek proof. Okay. Now, proof is different from cost-benefit analysis. Remember, the second type was cost-benefit analysis. The fourth type is not about cost-benefit analysis. The fourth one is about volumes of supporting evidence. So the evidence may or may not entirely make sense, but as long as there's enough evidence speaking about you or speaking about your product, it gives them the confidence. Think about shopping in Shopee and Lazada. You get all kinds of reviews, right? You get some good, some bad, and things like that. But as long as you get more good than bad, right? And compared to two sellers, one seller has 5 very good reviews.
Yes.
Another seller, right, has got 1,000 reviews, but out of 1,000, 100 of them are bad reviews, 9 of them are good. This group of people, guess who they will select to buy from? The first one or the second one? The second one. Yeah? So they are actually going for the one with the more reviews. Even though they had 10% of bad reviews, but they will go for the one with more reviews because that one shows that there's information that you have been around. There's information that I can see, I can read for myself. Okay,
right.
So the fourth persona is very much about sufficient evidence and sufficient information because their thinking is 5 reviews, even though it's all good, you have only done it 5 times. You have only sold to 5 people. Right. Okay, so let me recap very quickly. If you want to sell during this time, it's not only knowing what situation your audience is in. It's not only knowing whether they have the budget, right? And it's not only knowing whether the company policies have changed. You also need to connect with their 4 different buying personas.
Right.
The opportunity seekers. You know, a penny invested is an opportunity for a penny to grow.
Right.
The second one, more cost-benefit analysis.
Yes.
Focusing on the idea is a penny saved is a penny earned.
Correct.
The third one is let's see what the trend is. Let's see what others are doing.
Right.
Let's follow. The idea is if everybody's doing it, it must be the safe thing to do. It must be the right thing to do. It's the right time to do it. And then the fourth one are folks of the idea of sufficient evidence. The idea is that if there's sufficient information for me to make the right decisions, then I will be able to move ahead. Okay, Now here comes the kicker. The kicker is knowing who and what the buying personas are useful. But how do you know what their personas are if you're dealing with the digital market? You know, if you're dealing with people on the other side and you are trying to cast a net correctly, right? So remember I said earlier about not overcasting a net.
Yes, correct. Knowing
However, that's right. However, once you get your specific target market, who are you trying to target? Then you're going to cast a net, right, that is going to be focused on these 4 personas, which means your marketing message, right, at any point of time has to cover these 4 groups.
Okay.
So which means, I'll give you an example. A lot of times, right, when we sell something online, or today everything is so online. You might deliver it offline, but there needs to be some online engagement. There needs to be some online proof. There needs to be some online initiation. Okay.
Yes.
Someone searches your website, does an SEO, gives you a phone call. I still consider it online, right? So it's online lead generation.
Yes.
The idea here is, in the past, a lot of people would promote messages of, a lot of people I see, they promote messages of opportunity, right? Today's message is actually of opportunity. Sales conversion in crisis is about opportunity.
Yes.
Right? It's about taking risks. It's about making the right decisions.
Yes.
However, if we were to market the content of this title, the marketing of this content needs to cover these 4 groups. So your marketing message, right, has to be not one of just opportunity.
Right.
Your marketing message has to be one that also takes care of the peace of mind. Right? Takes care of the fact that there's enough evidence and proof that this will work. Takes care of the idea here is that you are not alone. So when your message goes out, right, because you don't know who you're reaching, but if you have a far-reaching message to the right target audience, you are making sure you cover all your gaps. So if you want to convert clients today, right, first of all, get your target market right. By understanding their challenges. Second of all, focus on the idea of ensuring that you're able to then take stock of what you're good at, right? And what can I modify in this situation to meet those groups? And then third one is understanding what is the real buying persona in this particular case, right? To speed up the buying decision process. And the message must go out, wrapping surrounding these 4 buying personas.
Right.
Okay. So,
So, well, thanks for that, Ray. So it's like very, very nice, precise, concise. I liked it. All right. So okay. So perhaps for those Facebook viewers out there, perhaps Ray, maybe you can pick a few examples. Maybe some of them that from their own sales industry. Perhaps we can illustrate examples.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of our friends watching this right now, perhaps you can comment in what industry or what kind of space, what do you sell? Let us know so that we can perhaps illustrate some examples for you. Now, while we're waiting for that, right? So Ray, I got some questions for you, which I thought of, and I thought I'd ask you this one. Now, we talk a lot about the first tip right now, understanding the current situation, surveying the market needs, the challenges and all. So on your own perspective, right, as of right now, what is the most effective way that you think that we should reach out, and how do we reach out? What platform? Even when we reach out, what should we ask and what should we say? How do we validate that? Yeah.
Okay. So don't put away the fact that you can actually have personal phone calls with people that you know in the industry, the movers and shakers in your industry. You know, if you are trying to sell, if you are trying to sell to say SMEs, right? Who are the movers and shakers in the SMEs in that space of that specific industry within the SMEs, right? So first of all, you need to speak to them, and a phone call is a very useful one. Second one is you can actually do online surveys, but nobody's going to take your survey unless you have some kind of benefit for them. And the benefit oftentimes is sharing back the results for them, right? So that they want to know what their community is thinking. They want to know what people around in the industry are thinking. So being able to provide them a sense of what's happening within their community, right, engages them to come on board and be able to then survey actually what are the real challenges that people are facing. So you can do that with an online survey. You can easily do that, do a poll, by doing through Telegram, WhatsApp, all social media tools that you can actually do, right? So it's not difficult to use those tools today. There's so many out there, from your Survey Monkeys, down to your job forms, down to HubSpot, which is a little bit more expensive. Even specifically MailChimp and things like that. You can actually use those technology to actually drive some kind of survey online, promising to actually give them something back in return. And what I've done is that I've conducted those surveys for some of my clients, and I share it by not just giving the report. I share it by offering a webinar to them. Right? In return, I share it in the webinar, and from there, I can make sure that I'm able to reach out to people who I know who are interested to know what solutions are happening or what challenges, but what are the solutions to those challenges. So in that way, I'm creating the mind share with them.
Yeah, right, good. So a very, very, very good tip. So we talk about phone conversation, the movers and the shakers. I mean, like the top of the cream, the top 20%. You talk about online survey form, again, job form, Survey Monkey, Telegram channel, it can be Facebook, poll, it can be even Google form, as simple as that.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. And I like the idea that you can even offer webinars to share the results and insights with them.
Yes. And it's all about mind share, right? At the other thing, you're providing a service, but it's also a mind share. Kind of thing that you're creating the people. When you say mind share, people are thinking about you. You are always in people's mind during this time.
So it's not just the market share, but also the mind share.
Yeah, very important during this time, because you're not going to be able to convert all customers during this time.
All right, good, fantastic. Okay, so Ray, so we got some friends who actually put in the answers right here. So we got Yan Tan from the property industry.
Yes.
So Yan has been joining Facebook Live very regularly. She's a platinum member already lah. Okay, so before we
go, Yan, wonderful.
So we have Lim Di Yang in the telco. I think we'll go with the property first. Okay, so perhaps using your flow, the first, second, third, fourth. So perhaps would you want to elaborate that, or maybe just personalize in the context of property based on your experience or the clients that you've coached before?
Yeah. So I'm not sure whether the question for Yan is she is a property agent or she actually works with a property developer, or but there are two different things.
She's agent.
Okay, yeah, because it's actually two different things. And as an agent, you might be actually representing certain properties. You might be a marketing agent also for different properties, and different projects, But for a property agent, it's very crucial to understand who are your clients at this point of time. If you are selling, townships, right, or you're selling condos, what's the price point that you're selling at? So first of all, they have to understand the middle costs and the affluent customers or low cost. If you're selling at let's take mid. Okay, let's take today mid. In Klang Valley, mid would be what, 600,000, 700,000? Something around that range. So where are your customers at? First of all, we have to ask ourselves, where are your customers at? And what's the profile of the customers? So once you understand the profile of customers, you're going to reach out to them. I get a lot of SMS and from different property agents, right, asking me whether I like to sell my property. All right. And that's interesting. So at least they're doing something about it, right? But what they're doing is that they are just looking out for opportunity seekers.
Yes.
Right? And so when they cast a net to us, at the end of the day, we might not even be interested to respond. So as a property agent, right, you need to be able to reach out to your previous buyer and your potential buyer that you already have in your pipeline, or whatever your database that you have, make sure that you filter it correctly, and you know the profile of the client for that kind of pricing, for that kind of investment price. And then do the same thing that we said, run a online, ask them questions like, do you want to know what other buyers are thinking of? Do you want to know how other buyers are investing their money during this time? So different questions will actually help people understand, what are people doing with their money during this time? Is it the right time to actually invest? So asking a lot of the survey questions like that will give you the context. Then later promise a CTA, right? Or a call to action to say, I'll share this back to you. As a matter of fact, I want to have a webinar with these tips. Now, if people are willing to fill in the survey, they are going to be the one that's willing to actually enter the webinar as well. Guess what? You just had a captive audience. You just be able to do a one-to-many kind of a session, right? Because you can't be calling every single customer and hoping to pitch them a sale. But during this time, you are sharing. Okay? And use a webinar, don't use a Zoom. Because if you are using a Zoom, right, then everybody can see everybody. And that's a bit of a risky thing. Yeah? So use some kind of webinar tool, or like you are using a tool to actually broadcast, or maybe they can also do their own show if they want, right? So that's then the second one here, you must already be prepared before you do the webinar. How you're going to help them? How are you going to modify your solution for them? Is it what kind of properties would you focus on, knowing after you have found the research? After you know the research, right? Then you know actually how people are doing. If 70% of people are saying that, yes, I will invest in the next 1 to 3 months, but depending on location, depending on type, depending on how much the price has gone down. Right? And if you know all that, then that's the answer you're going to provide in adapting your message. Right? And then provide that solution to the location where people are actually looking at. Okay? To the location, to the price point that you're looking at. And then the third one is to speed up buying process. So you got to have a way to actually speed up the buying process by figuring out, right, how to ease the whole buying experience, the buying journey. Work out already ahead of time banks, right, that are already part of your partnership, your financing package, right, and make it easy for them. As a matter of fact, you should be talking to a few bankers to give you very special arrangements, right, where, when I say arrangements, means different bundling and different packaging. And tell them that you want it different from others, and you want to be able to focus solely on a specific area, and so that you can be special to your clients, and then your clients can see that Yen has an offer, right, that other agents are not doing, and there's something for us to actually consider. So actually, to tell you the truth, I did speak to quite a lot of friends about investing in properties, and there's quite a few that actually want to invest in properties during this time. Right? So hope that helps. And then, of course, understanding then their persona, making sure that when you speak to the whole message of this group, right, making sure that you understand that these four personas are going to exist in this group of people. So you have to cater for all those things. Are they an opportunity seeker? Are they a person who wants to make sure that there's enough ROI? So you need to be able to prepare your homework on the ROI message. If there's one community, you're not alone. Show them some proof of what's happening in the market, that others are also investing, and investing in what way. And then the fourth one is evidence of yourself as a good agent, as a agent that wants to help their client and not only want to sell and do a buck. Okay. All right. Hope that helps as an example.
Right. Hope that helps, Yen. Yen, if Ray addressed to what you exactly are looking for, so you perhaps just drop us some love. So give us a thumbs up so that we address to that. All right. Thank you very much for the illustration. I think with that example is pretty much very clear, because previously May June says hi. Again, May June says hi right there. We got May June. Hi. May June. Of course, Yen Tan is also here. That's why Ari Volley. So we've illustrated an example through the use of the property industry. Let's see. Ray, do we have time to take another example?
Telco, is it?
Yeah,
I saw one telco.
Yes, correct. Ari Volley, hope that we address to this as well. Let us know we have answered to you and show us some love. All right, so we have Lim Di Yang who's also here. Ray, telco. Yep.
So telco is huge. I need to know whether she is selling solutions B2C or B2B. right? Is she working for a telco, or is she in, has a phone shop somewhere?
All right. So Lim Yang, perhaps you may want to elaborate. Are you more to the B2C, B2B? Are you like selling broadband? Are you like selling over the shop, over the counter? Or are you like servicing stores? Are you like taking care of prepaid, postpaid? So maybe Lim Yang, perhaps would you want to elaborate more? Or we got another friend saying hi to you. This is very obviously from DG.
So maybe we should ask him to say something. This Lou.
Lou. Stephen Lu. I think it's Stephen. So Stephen, perhaps if you want, you can show us an example. Telco specific. Yeah. Lu has been following. Lu, in fact, replies some of my ebooks, email, and yeah, he's been very helpful. Salute for that. All right, so here we go. Lindy Yang says solution postpaid during MCO, which is interesting. Postpaid during MCO.
Okay. So as we know, the government has asked telcos to actually step up to help, but a lot of it is helping more of homeowners. And it really depends on whether B2B SMEs are actually getting help from telcos. Now, today, for telcos, right, it's very important to realize that let's not forget the B2B folks. Yeah, postpaid solution is B2B folks, is people who are offices, SMEs. They are having difficult times. Yeah, difficult times with their budget. Difficult times with cash flow. Lots of companies are going to be closed for about 2 months. Nothing is really going to be done about that. But different people are showing favors. Yeah, different people are automatically, right, supporting by giving discounts or by extending broadband speeds and things like that. I'll give you an example. The place, my office, where we are at. We pay parking, we pay seasonal parking. And without us asking, right, the season parking folks that are actually managing the parking system and that the parking management company offered to give us half a month free, of parking. And I heard that because it's now been extended, they're actually going to potentially give another half a month, making it 1 month free without us asking. Right? Now, obviously, they understand, it's quite obvious as well, that many people are not at their offices and they end up paying for something they're not going to use. Yep. So I think in the telco industry, first of all, using the same example of understanding their clients, understanding our clients, I think it's very important to realize what our clients are facing and what industries that we're actually selling on to. There are different industries today that are essential services, IT support and things like that. They still go to their offices. Banks are still working, skeleton crew, at least skeleton shift, I would say. Different companies are actually still working. And so as a telco, selling to companies, if you understand those that are still working, we're talking about understanding here, they need a different solution because it's a different set of challenges. Right. But you have a different group of people who are actually not working, they're still working from home. Yep. Yeah. WFH, in the past that would be bad word already, but now it's WFH. Okay, yeah. So, but that's a good word now. Yeah, work from home, but they're just work from home. So your understanding then prescribes a different solution to them. Your messaging is then different, right? So now you take stock. So when you take stock, you have to then modify your marketing message. You're keeping in touch with your clients. You have to actually focus on how you're going to tweak your marketing message to fit these two different groups of people. Are they working? Are they not working? Do they need more support? Because if I'm working, I need more support. Maybe I need more bandwidth. Maybe I need different kind of services. Actually, to me, the right time now is to do an upsell. Upsell to the clients that are actually working, and they need not only the broadband speed, they need other services to do more telecommuting solutions, right? They need to be able to work from home. They need perhaps some form of VPN solution. Maybe they need some kind of a better support so that they can actually have a stronger intranet security or whatever it is, right? Today, a lot of telcos have packages to actually support their clients better. Maybe they need collaboration tools and things like that. It's the right time to actually do upsell to them. Now, because they are doing well, because they're still working, and if you want to get them to commit, remember we're talking about committing, right? Hastening the buying process. Offer them a package. Let them have the services right now. Bill them 3 months from now. Invoice them 2 months from now. Doesn't matter, but let them commit it first. Maybe throw in 1 month's trial. Whatever it is they have to do, just get the client on board first. You see, we are thinking that they are only using these services during this heightened time, right? Because they need those bundle packages. But actually, after they get used to your product, even after MCO is lifted, right, and things get back to some normal, we call it new normal. They will still be able to. They will still want your solutions. They will still be interested to keep those solutions because they already get used to doing it. So to me, right, it's the best time to upsell to those that are still working. Telco, hastening the buying decisions and of course speaking to the right stakeholders to be able to close this, the four buying personas.
Right.
Now, if you're selling to people who actually are not working, right, and they already have 2 months of non-income, showing some kind of understanding and coming up with a solution, right? First understanding and then coming up with a solution. Modifying it to fit their needs means that you might need to provide them some kind of financial cushion. Maybe additional services for what they're doing, but not just on now, not only currently now, but even after MCO. Okay, because those that are not working today, it really depends on what solution they need. Because at the end of the day, the solution is more home-based. Because you're home, right? You actually need more support at home.
Yes.
Yeah. In Australia, the government gives allowances, increased allowances differently from Malaysia. Okay, Malaysia, different bracket income. You're able to, apply for different financial support and stipends, right? But in Australia, they already know that you're doing commuting, and so because you're telecommuting, they already know that your cost is going to go up. More people at home increases electricity. More people at home increases the need for intense broadband bandwidth, and everything goes up, and people need to upgrade the bandwidth. So they actually give allowances for you to support increased electricity and increased broadband use, right? So they understand this. So during this time, even though you might think that you want to provide some kind of support for those who are not working, from a telco perspective, think about what's happening at home. So maybe your packaging has to be supporting them also at home. Maybe this is a time where you need to talk to the company and say that, if you can come in and take number of lines, because at home, nobody controls at home who uses what kind of brand, right? What kind of telco. So in the office, maybe DG, all right? In the office, maybe Time Telecom. But at home, I'm using Maxis. At home, I'm using Unify. This is the best time. If my customer is Maxis, right, in the office, I also want to make sure that their employees are also using Maxis at home.
Correct.
So come up with a package, right, so that you can also bundle a B2B to become a B2C, right? And figure out how you can actually offer this to them. If you think it's too difficult because it requires policy and structural change in your system, then ask the company or the organization that you're selling to, ask them for permission, right, to do an employees only promo, right? And ask them to send the list out to their employees. If you can find an SME with 500 employees, 300 employees, right? Guess what? You suddenly have 300 people in your database, right? It's an employee only package, right? And could be half sponsored by the company, right? Obviously, the employees are going to, think of doing some switch. Maybe not everyone will switch, but if you have half of them switch, right, guess what? Suddenly you have just increased your income. Okay. Right. So hope that helps.
So very good answer. In fact, DSE Digital Store Express Telco. Yeah, I think I met Steven before in one of the training in DG. Hi, Steven. Steven, say thanks, Ray and Wesley. Okay, so I have a follow-up question which came in my mind just now, Ray. So what if during the time when you are doing that validation and that survey, you realize that a lot of those concerns that pop up and is beyond your product or beyond the solution that you're providing. So that means at the end of the day, that maybe I focus more on selling low cost entry level property. But then when I ask a survey, I cast a net, then suddenly actually a lot of people wanted a landed high premium. Not the things that I'm selling right now. So what do you recommend for us to do?
I'm obviously, there are two things you can consider. The first thing here is the idea is, are you willing to change? and then move up there, because it's a chance for you to try something new.
Yep.
Right? Take a risk, improve yourself. Maybe it's a chance for you to go that area. Yeah, why not? Right? So that's one. But if it's too difficult for you, right, then bring in support. Right? In the property line, they do a lot of co-broking. Right?
Yes.
So you can actually bring another friend who's actually doing that with you and co-broke the deal together. Actually what I'm getting at here is in today's market, with the things that we are going through, partnership and collaboration is important. Everyone is a friend. No one is really a competitor, right? So everyone is a friend. Even in our training industry, Wesley, the reason why we're speaking together here is because you're my friend, right? Yeah. We are not competitors, even though that sometimes you might serve my client, I might serve your client in different contexts. But you know what? The more people are in our community open to the solutions that we're selling, the more our solutions are easily to be sold and accepted. Right? So I think it's all about collaboration and partnership. Yeah. So either you can move there yourself, it's too difficult, partner with someone, help someone grow. And like the law of attraction and law of abundance is, right? If you can help someone grow, you will also grow.
Yep.
Yeah. So grow others, grow yourself.
All right, that's a very good point to that. And again, so we have another one from Martin. Oh, Martin commented on my post yesterday. Martin Lee here. Digistore Express from my Surrey Boss Teleshop. Okay, Martin is also here. A lot of people in telco industry here today. So Martin, hi to you.
So all good. Right. So good.
Good stuff. All right, and for those of you here, if you have any questions in regards of sales conversion during crisis, just now Ray spoke about his 4 strategies: understanding the market, take a stock of what you're good at, how can you modify. Number 3 is how do we speed up the buying process. And number 4 is to understand the 4 different buyers' buying persona. So as any one of you here, if you have any questions, feel free to address to Ray while we still have his time. So interestingly, over on my side right here, we have Samantha. Hi, Samantha is also here. Samantha Carol is here as well. Samantha says, I agree, collaboration and partnership is very important to grow together.
Nice.
Samantha is also from the property industry. Yeah, they do it very often. They co-broke. So instead of keeping this my leads, so why not we just continue adding value to people?
Yeah. And also I'll share the fact that co-broking, right, is not only a reaction thing. Reaction means I got a customer that requests a certain type of property, a certain price point. I don't have it. Let me look for someone that has it, and let's co-broke. That's reactive. Yep. Right? So during this time, it can be proactive as well, right? You can actually tap onto each other's database. You can actually market for each other as well. So to me, that's collaboration. It's not just reactive, it's actually also proactive. Remember, you grow others, you grow yourself.
All right, good. And so thank you very much for that. And again, I'll take this opportunity to also expand. Just now you stopped halfway about the sales start inventory. So I've got this one thing right here because of you got some good news for all of you watching right now, because Ray wants to provide more value to all of us. So, and again, so Ray has developed this sales start inventory to help people to exactly go through, understand more. I'll let you explain that. So, and the good news is, so because Ray right now, let me just flash on the screen. So you all can actually go to salesstarinventory.net. So look for the contact us, and you just put a quote there, Sales Ray. So would you mind to explain what it's all about, Ray?
So the Sales Star Inventory, as I mentioned earlier, is a tool that actually took us international, like really heavily international into 17 countries, right? Yes. And the tool is a psychometric tool. Helps you understand the sales persona. We talked about the buying persona. You also need to understand your sales persona, right? Yeah. It also talks about your current selling skills. A lot of people try to match their selling skills. Try to understand, am I a good salesperson? How can I improve? What are my gaps and things like that? So as a salesperson, right, you want to know what your gaps, what your strengths are, what's your selling skills. But guess what? Knowing your selling skills is not good enough. You need to compare yourself. You need to match yourself. As a property agent, how is my selling skills compared to another property agent? I want to know. Right? What are people strong at that I'm not strong at? So this tool allows you to be able to do that. And finally, what motivates me to do what I do every day as a salesperson? So a very sales contextual assessment tool. And it's a very valuable tool that's used all around the world for a lot of my large clients. And today, only for those that listen in FB Live, please, write to us and we will give you a free sales start inventory. Yeah. That is worth 250 ringgit. Okay, so please, for the honor system to work, only for those that are on live today.
I like honest system to work.
Yeah. Okay. So the reason why I asked you guys to go to our contact page and just put Sales Ray is because normally I'll put a landing page for all these coupons to work, right? But in my pre-call with Wesley, we decided that we should offer something, and Wesley sold me the idea. It was so persuasive that we should offer it for the listeners on today's call, and that's why you have to go to contact us and put Sales Ray, so that I know that it's actually from FB Live. Otherwise, if I known earlier, right, we might have created a different landing page for that. But no worries, we can still do this, right?
No worries.
Honor system.
So we modify our product accordingly. All right. So I'm glad you agreed to this, because I've known Ray who do like training in different parts. I can just enlighten the audience a bit how I know you. Again, I know from Bawani, and I also work with this one Charisma Academy from Singapore. Shout out, thanks to the team there. And they say, you should talk to Ray. I say, I want to talk to Ray. So now MCO is a good time. I've heard a lot of good news about you, and I quickly want to catch you, grab you, and I want you to share with our audience here today. So as we are having a pre-call before, do we click this or click that, right? So I say, Ray, your inventory can give free. They say, can la, for those watching, can la. All right.
That's right.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
Right. So I've put in the comment section right there for those of you who want do so. And again, it's worth $250. Just go there, just click contact us, Sales Ray. And so we got people saying, thank you, Ray, from Stephen. We have Yen who put, wow, thanks, Ray and Wesley. Thank you very much. Again, here, Stephen as well. And we have Martin saying thanks as well. So I really hope that this will definitely benefit people out there. And again, any one of you here, just reach out for this opportunity here. So very good stuff I've learned here today personally from my end. And I agree with the idea of the partnership and collaboration, especially in times of crisis like this. We can only do so much from our side. Why not we collaborate, we co-create, and we just continue adding value to the people out there.
That's
all
right.
So for those of you here, we have Diang saying thanks as well with a smiley face to you. All right. Okay, and for any one of you here, if you have any questions, we're going to take in last one question. So in this case, so Ray, do you have any last piece of advice, any last words of encouragement to our audience out there?
Yeah, so my last words that I want to share really is the idea is let's not give up. During this time, let's continue to work. Let's continue to innovate. Let's continue to create. Let's continue to add value to others around us, not just in our business, but people around us. Because it's during this time, right, that we can really make a difference to others. Tough times, people always say, right, tough times don't last, but tough people do, right? And character, they always also say, character is kind of like a tea bag. You only really know the color and the taste of tea when you put it in hot water. Fantastic. So during this time, we are in hot water, right? So how strong is your character, and how good can you come out of this? So I believe that people who are like good tea will come out stronger and will come out with new ideas and maybe even do better than what they did before. So everyone, stay strong, stay healthy, stay creative, and continue to make a difference to others around you.
All right. So
thanks,
Ray,
Wes.
So Ray, are you a tea person or coffee person?
More tea. Because I get bad experiences with coffee. Like just now, I try to have coffee. Sometimes I take coffee, and I often spill coffee on my laptop. So I try to avoid coffee. Something to do with the coffee and me. No,
so it's not,
So jokes aside, jokes aside. But tea is good for me. Tea is good.
So for those of you here, so be a strong brand of tea. Not too sure what kind of brand that you take, Ray. So I'm a coffee person.
Okay. All right.
And for those of you here, again, thank you so much for watching this Facebook Live here today. And again, I would like to invite for those of you watching right now, if you find something, you learn some very powerful sharing, send us some love, send us your thanks to Ray, so I know that we have benefited from watching this Facebook Live here. And again, I would like to take this chance for those of you here, if you want to quickly grab the opportunity, you can go for the salesinventory.net, take this chance. And again, Samantha saying, thanks, Ray, for sharing. And thanks to Wesley, you're most welcome. And again, anybody here, just take full use of the chance and benefit right here to go to Sales Inventory, code Sales Ray. look for that as well. And again, thank you so much for your time, Ray. I truly feel very honored. It's my pleasure to have you on Facebook Live here today, despite of a Saturday. And I like very practical tips and tips that you share with us, especially conversion strategies during crisis. So we have Tan saying thanks again. We got Tanya Wong saying thanks, Ray and Wesley. You're most welcome. All right. So thank you so much for your time once again, Ray. I really hope to see you again. So Derek says, very helpful info. Thanks for sharing. Thanks, Wesley and Ray. We are glad we have benefited from here, right?
Great.
Okay. So I hope that this is not the end of you coming to my Facebook Live. I really look forward to have you to add more value continuously to our audience here today. And again, thank you so much for watching this, Ray. Ray, you got anything you want to say to the audience?
No, I just want to thank you for the time, and excited to actually be able to share something during this time. I hope everybody stays well, and all the best to you.
All right,
see you
thank
guys
you very
soon.
much.
Yep.
So, Ray, so we have one tradition before we end. We're going to take a picture. So how to
Yep.
do is that just going to look at the camera. Oh, wow. Your dog wants to come as well.
Yeah. Okay,
All right, we're going to take a picture. I'm going to do a screenshot from my end.
okay, let's go.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, show us the love. Show us the love or the sign. Anything you want to show? Good sign, anything. Okay, ready? 1, 2. All right, thank you very much.
right.
All right, so Yan says thanks and Martin says bye and thanks and stay safe. All right, to every one of you watching, so we got Stephen coming and say thank you. A lot of you say thank you very much. For those of you watching, thank you so much for your time. One more time, Ray, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your time, and I hope to see you again. So a lot of you here,
Thank
thank you, and signing off from us, Ray and Wesley. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.